Cattski.
Hi, I'm Anya, and this is
What's Your Takeaway?
What's Your Takeaway is an exploration of insights, ideas, and inspiration. It is your food for thought.
And here, we peel the onion and unravel the importance and beauty of introspection. Hi, gang! Okay, this is officially our first episode.
I can't believe we're finally doing this.
We're finally doing this.
Is it a year in the making? Not really.
Not really, maybe a few months. Or maybe 6 months? I don't know.
Early this year, we thought about doing this podcast together.
Yes.
And then now we're finally making it happen. Mid-year, we did some brainstorming.
Yes, we did.
And a lot of back end work. But here we are.
Here we are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. So how are you today, gang? How are you really feeling today?
Well, I'm excited for sure. And you?
I am very excited, but I'm also a bit nervous.
Well, there's always that, and I always call that anxiety.
That's true. I mean, I'm not just nervous about this project, but I think with a lot of things going on in my life also. So yes, anxiety maybe.
Same. So why are we really here? Why are we really doing this?
A lot of things. I think one is because it's good to have a space, a safe space, and a brave space to just be there for each other. And I think for me personally, we've had a lot of gains just having conversations, intimate conversations with just the two of us or with friends or people who inspire us.
Agree.
And I feel like it's something we have to share to the world. Don't you think so?
Yep, of course. Remember before when we start talking about whatever it is that we're going through, it's always like, I would pause and I'm like, wait, we should tell that to people. I don't know why we're not telling that to people. Maybe some people will actually gain from that insight or something. So I guess this is it.
Yeah, and I think there's a rarity of being in circles where you meet different people from different walks of life and different sectors, different industries.
Yes, and you learn from each one of them.
Exactly. There's always a nugget of wisdom to gain from that conversation.
I always get nuggets of things from you, by the way, whenever we talk. Yeah.
Same. I always feel invigorated. I think that's the word.
Yeah, I always feel smarter.
I feel smarter when I talk to different types of people also.
Yeah, so you're definitely one of those people that when after talking to you, I leave your apartment and then I walk down the hallway and go into the elevator and I feel I'm smarter.
Yeah. Or just how you live your life or your process of self-inquiry. When you share it with me, sometimes it also makes me reflect about my life and the way I process things. And I think the beauty of our friendship is we're always there for each other to help each other process stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people are also longing or seeking for that, a place where they can process things out loud or share insights with other people.
Well, for me, it's free therapy.
It is, for sure.
Yeah. So tell me, what is your journey to introspection?
Yeah, I think the word, I didn't use the word introspection probably up until, I don't know, maybe these past years. I think the word that always was kind of used and abused growing up was reflection.
Right. In school.
In school, right. I think I mentioned to you briefly that when you talk about introspection or reflection, the first thing that comes to mind is when we were asked to make home reading reports, we were asked to read books, and then you have to draw out your insights, what's the lesson, what's the parable in the story, what's the lesson that you learned from this story. So kind of that's how I think I gained the practice of reflection or reflecting. How about you?
In my case, it's still a school setting. I remember it was in theater. I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And in theater, our method of acting is called Being by Eric Morris. And the premise of that method is you become the character. You are being the character. So it's like it's not you act out the character. So the director would always process us in a way that we have to know who we are and what we are in relation to our environment and the people we surround ourselves with. Because if you don't, you just have this image of yourself and you're just acting that out.
Right.
If you're just acting out an image of yourself, you cannot be a good actor because you can't even do that for yourself. Now, how can you be an effective actor when you try to be some other person? So we're always poked with difficult questions about ourselves. And it's kind of like our know your why exercise, but like harsher. Like because
Right.
you really have to get to the bottom of it. So you know your traumas are out in the surface. So that's how I realized how important introspection is, not just for me as a performer,
Yeah.
but as well as an actual person, knowing yourself, because realizing that, oh wait, I just have this image of me and I'm just acting it out. I am not living my authentic self.
Right.
So that's the goal there.
The way I'm receiving that is you build your character by putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
But the way to do that is to go inside yourself to actually understand who you want to embody. Pretty tough for a 17-year-old.
It is. And then, I had to go through like really tough situations, motivations by the director. I would
Yeah.
cry. I would,
Yeah.
burst into anger. But
Yeah.
it's really important. And I was just in theater for 5 years. So after that, I started my therapy. I had started my counseling. So yeah.
But yeah, theater does it. But interesting, I think what's similar to our experience or the origin of,
Yeah.
I guess, the practice of reflection comes from creativity, comes from either reading a book
Writing.
or writing
Exactly. Performance.
or performance. It really is coming from a form of self-expression.
Yeah, we are creative people.
because we are creative people. Let's embrace that.
We are creative
And,
people.
and I think this is also why we're doing this. I mean, this is also a form of self-expression. And I think we're so courageous for sharing a
I know,
part,
right?
sharing a part of ourselves to
So like
others.
while I was talking, like my voice is about to crack because it was vulnerable, telling people about what I went through as a young kid with my introduction to this whole self-reflection thing. So I felt that my voice was about to crack, but I also felt like I'm being brave. So cool. Nice.
And as you were saying that, it also kind of anchored me back to our metaphor of peeling the onion.
Yeah.
Because that 17-year-old theater exercise with your director poking on you was trying to unlayer you to your
Exactly.
truth.
Yes.
That's
You're
it.
pointing it out. Yes.
So I guess, given that we both have been not I wouldn't say religious, but very conscious of how we apply introspection in our respective lives. What would you say was your journey like? Like, were you consistent with this practice?
No.
Because we're not perfect people. And there's-
No, as much as I want to say yes, but no. I mean, you forget.
And what are the instances that actually would lead you to the path of introspection? If it doesn't come by default, when do you feel like, okay, I need to step back and I need to write or reflect?
I actually think that you do this consciously. For you, though. Like, you're more consistent with
I
this.
feel more now more than before. But I think because I think one of my strongest value is solitude. And even as a kid, I remember I would always find myself alone because my gap with my brother, we're only two, and he's 4 years younger than I am.
Okay.
And my parents are always busy. And I've always had a lot of childhood memories being alone, writing, reading, or just, being alone with my thoughts.
Right.
So I feel like perhaps that's why I feel it comes more naturally to me.
Yeah, because I noticed this because we spent the pandemic together, and I noticed that you were more reflective than I was. I was always just in denial of the pandemic. I was just always like, oh, this is gonna be over in a month. It's gonna be okay. You know, like I was in denial. Meanwhile, you were like, you were journaling, and I was just watching Netflix. I remember this. So I feel like you are more. I think you're more comfortable with your own thoughts, and you're more comfortable being alone. As for me, I forget. And I always try to avoid being alone because I am scared of my own thoughts. And that's exactly why I am in and out of therapy. I am always in denial or avoidant of something. But when I do get hurt,
So that's an opening point of introspection.
and you know this because I go to
it's very
you.
recent.
Yeah, you know, when I get hurt or if I'm rejected or not chosen, things like that. It's a wound that gets poked. So that's the time when I really know that it's time to reflect.
Go within.
Yeah, and just this year, and as you know this, I started super journaling to the point that I would call it vomit journaling.
Spit it out there.
Yeah, or revenge journaling because it really helped me. And like you are one of the people that I need to thank for my survival skills this year. Yeah, so when I get hurt, that's the time that I go within.
How about when you're happy?
No, I don't. Like because I celebrate and I don't know, like I just go out there and I don't know.
So are you not able to like step back and kind of just soak in the gratitude? Because I feel like you've evolved so much and you've done that too.
I'm fine with the gratitude, but I don't take a step back and say, hey, this is actually making me happy. Or I'm actually happy now. I forget. Like I'm wired, and which is my struggle. I'm wired to be more sensitive to the negative parts of my life.
I think that's just part of human nature.
I guess so too, yeah.
I'm the same. I would say even if it's something that comes naturally to me, it's always when I'm dealing with hard emotions that I feel I need to like quiet down and reflect and go inside, you know. I don't know what the etymology of introspection is, but it feels like something that leads you to go inside, to go within.
I guess that's it. And it's hard. It's hard to go within. Like, how do you actually do that? Are there steps to take?
So how do you do it?
I journal.
Do you have a process?
I journal and I write songs. That's the two things for me. And of course, I read books, but it's more about the journaling, really.
So that's your primary aid for introspection. Are you one to like set the mood? Like I'm gonna light candles, I'm going to light an incense.
That's so woo-woo. We are woo-woo.
No, I'm not like that also. I think what helps me is to be in nature. Yeah.
I know that. I can tell. I don't care if I'm in nature or anywhere. It's usually with coffee in the morning. And that's when I always start my day with journaling. Like religiously, this year has been really my journaling year. Like because even if it's in the afternoon, I would like, oh, I'm feeling something. I gotta journal. I gotta go to my tree. Like there's a tree in Mango Square that I stay and I write my thoughts down because it helps.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of proven that the practice of reflection or introspection has a lot of positive impacts or outcome to people, right? And that's also again why we're putting up this conversation, because it really is nurturing to the soul and to I think our minds also and our hearts to kind of keep learning from ourselves and from each other.
Yeah, exactly. Because for me also, if you're not connected with yourself, you can't be connected with your environment or the people that you surround yourself with. I mean, that's just it. That's just basic. If you don't know yourself or if you don't know how to connect from within, you don't know how to connect with others. So I guess that's a takeaway.
Yeah, and for us, for example, I think what really nurtured our friendship, like the depth of our friendship has been because we've been journeying together in this inner work.
Yes.
And we have been witnesses to each other in a very non-judgmental manner. Sometimes we're harsher to ourselves than
Yeah.
each other.
That's why we police each other. Like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Police each other, or sometimes you kind of channel yourself to be like your friend. Like, what would Cattski tell me, or like, how would my core friend treat me when I'm in this situation?
Yeah.
Okay, given that we both have this process, and it's been like a lifelong journey of introspection, and with our title, what's your takeaway? What do you think has been your biggest takeaway in life? And I'm sure there's a lot. We will not reveal our age, but
No.
no age revelation.
We don't
here.
believe in age. We believe in energy. Yeah.
Yeah, what has it been like for you, and what do you think is the top of mind takeaway? Had a big impact on your life.
Control.
Wait, it's so funny. I was just listening to the song. I release control. I think I sent this to you.
Which song?
I release control.
That's weird.
Anyway, go ahead. So, control.
I reviewed my journal entries for this year, and almost in every entry, the first line would be, "And here I am trying to control everything."
What a revelation.
Yeah, and saying it or putting it on paper, makes a difference. It's like, right, and here I am. I'm still trying to control everything. Even this journaling, I am trying to control everything. So I guess you really can't. Just the takeaway is realizing every day and trying to put it inside. I actually don't have control.
Yeah.
And so might as well not, right? Because you don't. No one has control. You can't. You're always uncertain anyway. You don't know what's going to happen. Why
Yeah.
control it? So that's my biggest thing this year. Don't force people. Don't control people. Don't control situations.
Yeah.
Don't force situations. So yeah.
I think in relation to that, I think in 2020, during the height of the pandemic, when we couldn't control anything,
Yeah.
that was actually the lesson of the year for me.
Yeah.
Because everything was just changing. Like everyone was just moving so fast, happening so fast. And you don't know what's going to happen next. So
Yeah.
you don't really have any control of anything.
Is that also your takeaway for this year, or like for your biggest takeaway so far in your life? Or what has been the biggest takeaway so far?
In my life.
Yeah.
Mine would be, this is my big mantra, and I think this is something that I still struggle to practice on a daily basis, but something that's also very strong is to be present. But the spiritual teacher, Ram Dass, that's kind of his biggest slogan, be here now. It's so hard.
It's so hard. Yeah.
I mean, it's such a simple statement, right? Like, be present. And when I learned of this, I thought, why would it be difficult to like understand or to live? You just be present.
Yeah.
But when you're, I guess, in the practice of self-awareness, when you're able to be at a vantage point and observe your thoughts or what causes you to be anxious or what causes you suffering, it's always the past
Or the future.
or the future.
Yeah.
So to me, it's always being able to really ground yourself in the now. And
Yeah.
and it's hard when you have a lot to think about. And yeah, like with adulting, with healing from your past pains also.
Your traumas.
Traumas, and it catches up on you. So somehow it still is a dark cloud in your present. And how do you, I realize that that's no longer, it's part of you, but it's not you. And you don't have to carry it in your present for it to protect you in your future. It's more of like how do you not get sandwiched in between the past and the future?
The key there, the past or the future, and that's the only thing that causes overthinking,
Yes.
and overthinking causes the anxiety. It's really that cycle. Not controlling and living in the present. I guess that's the best way to live, but easier said than done.
I feel like if you're able to actually filter every nugget of wisdom in life, everything is connected. Like when you talk about control, that's usually anchored on the future.
Exactly. Yeah.
The reason why you want to have control is because you want to be able to determine what's going to happen next.
Yeah. You want certainty.
Yes, exactly.
That's not healthy because everything is uncertain.
And it's not gonna happen. The things are not going to happen your way all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really just grappling about uncertainty. Because I think I want to get to a place wherein I should be good with uncertainty, and I should be excited about it because there's also beauty in not knowing,
I love that aspiration.
right? Like I want to get to a place wherein it's uncertain. I'm excited.
I feel like that's going to be liberating.
Exactly. So that's kind of like my goal, to be at peace with uncertainty,
I like that.
right?
I support that.
Thank you.
And when you were talking about control, one thing that I also learned with my doctor, I also have been going through therapy all these years actually since I was a kid, is how to not force things to happen, right? So to kind of make sure that things happen with ease. When things don't happen with ease, you have to accept that it's not for you.
Yeah. Ouch.
Wait, I just had an epiphany. Spot on, boom, target.
Ouch.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, fine. All right.
But yeah. This is for you. And that's our takeaway.
That's our takeaway.
But yeah, so she would constantly tell me that things have to happen with ease. Because when things happen with ease, then it means that's meant for you. When you have to exert so much effort, you're forcing things, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of not in synchronicity with what the universe wants for
Yeah.
you.
And you have to have, all this content that you see online that says, what's meant for you will never pass you by. I know that it's cliche, but it's really true.
It's true.
It's really true. Yeah.
It is true.
So don't fight it.
Yeah, don't fight it.
Don't force it.
It's really all, it's kind of the construct of time, right? You feel like you're supposed to have it now because if you have something now, you think it will make you happy.
Yeah.
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 And again, the be here now thing, right? Because sometimes you think about things that will make you happy in the future,
Right.
but Thich Nhat Hanh,
Yeah.
the spiritual Thich Nhat Hanh would always say, you can only be happy now.
Exactly.
You can't be happy in the future.
Not just Thich Nhat Hanh, also Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah. All these
Spiritual-
spiritual teachers are
Teaching the same thing.
Yeah. In different words.
Yep.
So, okay, gang, we have been very brave today
We have been.
to make this happen.
And finally it did.
And finally, we did. And on our first episode, we just wanted to let everyone get to know ourselves and our own introspective journey. And so, what do we want them, our listeners, our audience, our friends, our community to gain from this?
That together we can think and we can look within, I guess. I mean, if we keep conversing about this, it becomes the norm because I'm pretty sure I'm guilty of it. We avoid because the truth hurts,
Yes.
right? So we avoid going within. I avoid going within. Like I deny, like I'm guilty of that. But I also understand that the importance of it. So I think if we keep talking about it and if we will be having guests guests in our next couple of episodes, of course. This is our first episode, so we're each other's guests today.
Yes.
But for our next episodes, you'll be having guests here, and we will also learn from them. And I guess the more we talk about looking within, and it can probably inspire people and how, and they could do their own introspection.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're not claiming to be experts.
No, we're not. We're actually going through this with you.
I mean, I feel like for selfish reasons, we wanted to come up with this project, this program, because we wanted to have more people journey with us.
So we won't feel alone.
Yeah, exactly. So we won't feel alone. And we wanted it to be a community.
Yes.
A community of learners, a community of curious people, a community of people who are not afraid of asking the bigger questions.
The bigger questions, yes.
Yeah.
I'm still afraid though, by the way, but here I am.
I feel like there's power in numbers.
There
and
is.
if we're a lot, then we could be courageous together.
Yeah. We can learn from each other.
We can learn from each other. For me personally, I think what I want to gain from this is a community. A community that will make it a norm, as you said, to talk about big feelings and big talk. We don't have to limit ourselves to what's the weather like?
Right.
Or
yeah.
how are you feeling today? Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That's avoiding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so how do we really feel? That's like not avoid. No, like we will try not to avoid the bigger, the more important conversations. Yeah, what I want to gain from this is probably, aside from community, is also healing. If I'm healing through this process, maybe those people who want to heal as well will heal a little with me. I don't know.
I love that. I mean, thank you for being super brave to say that. For me, I also feel like this is my way of sharing a part of myself that people don't know about. Like I feel like I'm very private about my reflective life. Like I only share it to very few people, but I also know that I think this is kind of my platform to be braver in sharing my story and what I learn from life and what I learn from people.
Right.
I'm also very excited to learn from other people
Me too. From our guests.
and fellow introspectors. Introspector Club.
Yes.
Is that even a word?
We will study that. That's one of our name studies.
Yeah, and like sometimes there's also that argument that introspection can lead to overthinking.
I mentioned that earlier.
There's a fine line.
Yeah, but how you can determine that you're already overthinking is the anxiety. That's like if there's a signal of anxiety, you are already overthinking. So write that down.
I'm just curious. So when you're in your moment of introspection, what kind of feelings does it bring you?
Relief. Honestly. But of course, it starts out with anxiety, with all these other negative feelings of not feeling enough, of things like that. Like those are the reasons why I would write down stuff. And then when it's all on paper and you reread it, it's clear.
Clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity and relief.
Yeah, and relief. And you're like, okay, I feel better now. I will start my day now. I'm good. Yeah.
For me, when I'm in the moment of introspection, it always allows me to ground myself. Like the vision in mind is always my feet. They look like they're growing roots from underneath.
I love that. Aww.
That's always kind of the image in mind.
That's a new tattoo. That's a tattoo design.
That's a new tattoo, but that's always how it feels like.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, like really kind of rooting down under the soil, beneath the surface.
Right.
There. Okay, gang.
Yeah.
Given all that, what do you think is your takeaway today?
Wow. I have not thought of that. I need to journal. Well, the biggest thing is that my takeaway is like, this is good.
I feel good.
I feel good about this. Yeah, I feel good about this. The learnings that I just got from our conversation now, very valuable to me. So there's a lot. So I can't have one takeaway. So there's a lot of takeaways, but I just want to say that I'm feeling good about this, and I think we're on the right track.
Yes, we are 100%.
Yes.
My takeaway is just a sense of gratitude. I'm gonna get emotional. I think I'm just
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna look at
This
you.
is a safe space.
I feel like friendships and sisterhood is so important in everyone's life. And I wouldn't have been able to do this if it weren't for your prodding and your idea. This came from you. And it makes me braver to have a friend like you
Oh, now I'm gonna cry.
journey with me. And it just feels very liberating to be with people and be surrounded with people who you can be yourself with and who you can feel big feelings and think big thoughts with and feel good about yourself.
Same.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this with me. What's your takeaway?
What's your takeaway? And I guess that's it.
Yeah.
We're excited for the episodes to come.
I'm very excited for our guest for our second episode.
I know.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about colors,
Process.
more creativity,
Yes, of course.
and anything under the sun.
Maybe about love. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, exciting.
All right.
So thank you, gang.
Thank you, gang.
This has been What's Your Takeaway?
And we'll see you next episode.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.